Hey, what's up YouTube? Houston here. Look, if you're trying to add primary trade lines onto your credit file, okay, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's very important that you be very cautious in terms of the type of trade lines you add onto your credit file and how you add them on. Now, here's the thing about it. I'm going to tell you some trade lines you can add to your credit file, especially if you're trying to boost your credit score up 100+ points, all right? Now, in reference to some of these trade lines, they are secure trade lines, but I have a method to show you actually where to get the money from, even if you have a bad credit score, so that you can actually get these secure trade lines. But it's very important that you do it the proper way. Now, in terms of helping you boost your credit score, one of the things that I'm gonna tell you, especially if you're trying to buy a house, or you're trying to get a car, trying to take advantage of the car market, or you're trying to start your own business, I'm gonna tell you the proper way to do things, okay? Now, the first step is in terms of pulling your real credit file. And I know people say, well, I get my credit file from the banks and they give me my credit score. But again, with the major banks, they give you your free credit score. But their free credit score that they give you is a Vantage score, okay? And I made plenty of videos explaining that your Vantage score could be a difference between 50 to 80 points, all right? And 90% of the banks do not pull your Vantage score, okay? So that's another thing that you have to understand. Don't run to the Vantage score like Credit Karma. Don't rely on it. Chase, it gives you a Vantage score. American Express, Vantage score. Bank of America, Vantage score, okay? So they give you a Vantage score, but they don't pull your Vantage score. They actually pull your FICO score. So if you need to find out what's going on with your real FICO score, then you need to click the link below and get your real FICO score, because that's the only way to play this game the correct way, all right? That being said, talking about adding trade lines. Now, in reference to giving you a boost, you can add authorized users to your credit file. Now, authorized users, I would tell you this because most people don't know, they would load up their credit file with 3, 4, 5 authorized users. That's a bad thing. When you go over 3 authorized users, that's a red flag for financial institutions. Okay, so that's a red flag. So you don't want, maximum you want to add for as authorized users is 2. Now, in reference to those authorized users, you want to make sure that whoever you're getting the authorized users from, make sure that their utilization is under 30%. I would prefer under 10%. Okay, and all authorized users don't report the history. So there's only certain authorized users that would actually report the actual aging of the file, and that's very important. Okay, so that's another thing that you need to understand. That being said, now, when you have a bad credit file, this is so important. You have to understand, for every negative account, I keep telling you guys, for every negative account you have on your credit file, you're going to need at least 2 to 3 trade lines to make up for that one negative, right? So what I would do if I were you and I was trying to boost up my credit score the fastest, what I would do is I would probably set up my accounts from smallest to largest, and the ones with the smallest balance, I would try to pay those down to 0. Okay, do not close out their accounts, but pay them down to 0. So if they're less than $1,000, if you have the means, pay them down to 0. You're going to see a significant change in your credit score from that. Now, in terms of, say that you have a charge-off, again, with a charge-off, if it's a 0 balance charge-off, it's not going to affect you, okay? Your charge-off that have a balance on, those are the ones that would affect you. Now, if you have a charge-off and you don't have the means to pay it off, then you want to request from the creditor, okay? You want to request from the creditor a 1099-C, cancellation of debt. So that way, let me explain it so that you understand. So say the credit card company gave you a $10,000 credit card, okay, you let it charge off because you didn't have the means to pay the money back. Then you would have to request a 1099-C, and you would have to claim that $10,000 on your taxes, okay? So that's the reason that you want that 1099-C. That being said, let's talk about some of these trade lines, all right, to help boost up your credit score, all right? You have the Extra Debit Card. Now, with the Extra Debit Card, they report to Experian and Equifax, all right? So what they do, they look at your bank account. As long as you have deposits and stuff, they'll give you the trade line, and so it'll report to Experian and Equifax. Then you have Kickoff. Kickoff has the credit card, they have the loans, so they have a credit card, I think it's like $750 or whatever. They state that they report to all 3 credit bureaus. Now, there may be a delay in terms of them reporting to the credit bureaus. They may only report to 2 credit bureaus, all right? But again, they state that they report to all 3 credit bureaus, so there may be a delay there. That being said, you have OppFi. Now, OppFi, they state that they report, and OppFi is not in all states as well. So with OppFi, they give you a credit card, even with bad credit, for $1,000. After 6 months of good payment history and stuff like that, they'll double it to $2,000, okay? So that's OppFi, all right? And you don't even need to have a credit file in order to qualify for them, all right? Now, you have another creditor, it's Credit AI. Again, if you have direct deposits, Credit AI, they will give you a $1,500 credit card. Okay, so these are not secured credit cards, these are unsecured credit cards. Also, some of you guys may not know, if you have direct deposits and paying your subscriptions and cell phone and stuff, then sign up for Experian Boost. Experian Boost, granted that it only affects, your experience score, but now they're reporting rental history as well. So that may be definitely an opportunity to help boost up your credit score on the experience side. Now, here's one thing that I'm going to tell you guys. You need to start getting your rent. If you're paying rent, okay, you need to start getting that reported. So if you're paying cash or with a money order, then you need to sign up with a rental paying company that can actually access your bank information so they can see that you're actually paying, but it'll also help aid your credit file. So if you kind of new to the credit game and you have a thin credit file, having your rent report is definitely an opportunity to help you. Now, that being said, let's talk about something that's very important that most people miss on their credit file. A lot of time people miss the opportunity where they don't have a loan. So I would tell you, if you don't have a loan, you need to get a secured loan. Now, I always tell you if I were you, I would try to get some type of a pledge loan. Okay, whether it's through Navy, Federal, or some other credit union. I would work with the credit unions, okay? Because once you're in with the credit unions, they make it much easier to loan you money, okay? They'll make it much easier than the banks, all right? Because with the banks, if you have a DTI above 55%, they may look at, even with the credit unions, but at the same time, they may use different criteria other than that debt to income ratio. Long as you have multiple accounts with them, you're doing deposits and you're making payments on time. So I would do a secured loan. Now, you say, well, Houston, where do I get the money for the secured loan? There's 2 lenders out there. They don't care about your DTI, your debt to income ratio. They don't care about your credit score. You can look at Uprova. They offer up to $5,000 loans, okay? And they are a tribal lender. Then you have IndyLand. IndyLand is also a tribal lender. They offer up to $5,000. You have credit loans. Credit loans, again, this is another lender that doesn't focus on the credit score. They focus on your ability to make payments and stuff like that. Now, If you have any other question about removing negative items off the personal credit or building a business credit or personal credit, click the link in the description and schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.